Wow. Wow, I've never heard music like that. That is awesome. Thank you so very much. This is just going to be the best Sunday ever. And look at our altar. Isn't this just an art form? You would see this in an art gallery. Elaine, thank you so very much. You just, it's almost like you have a maple here in the shape of the flower of the leaves too, isn't it? It's just very, very lovely. And we're so blessed to have so many wonderful angels here. Marilyn just pulls together all of the work here. Her husband John in the back running sound. Madeline with her beautiful prayers. Neil with the inspirational speaker. How can I go wrong? Our message today is about spiritual hoarding. And you know, that really means when you hold on to things inside and you don't let them go. So when Donna called me this morning and said that she just really couldn't even get out of bed, I mean, poor thing, it was like, hello? I'm saying, who is this? But you know, when you get a call at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's never a good day. This was not going to be a good day for me, and that was my very first thought. So Donna is calling and said, hey, Kathy, you know, as a practitioner in training, would you mind doing the sermon today? My very first thought is, oh my God. And literally, oh my God. Open, you know, open. And I think about the spiritual hoarding as a message. How many times do each of us get an opportunity to do something really bigger than we ever imagined? I mean, I'm 1 year in practitioner training. I can't give a sermon. I'm not good enough. Oh. Right. Pisha. Just pisha. And that was, of course, the fear was speaking. And then when it became the topic, it's like, well, you know, my fears just feed right into this topic, don't they? Because this is why we hoard on to our own indwelling spirituality, is we're afraid. Your music is so creative, so innovative, but that's a big step. People don't do things like that. What is this little box? You know, you went above. You didn't hold on. You just let the world see what you were. Like Neil's inspiration speech, it wasn't about how good, but you know, how inadequate we are. It's how great can we be? And that comes really from opening up, like your first song. And when you stop and think about hoarding, you know, I mean, it's got all these connotations to it that are the negative, psychological, you know, dysfunctional thing. But we all do it to a degree, don't we? I mean, does anybody have a junk drawer in their home? Yeah. You know, I actually have a closet. You know, I went way beyond the drawer. You know, the drawer just wasn't enough for all the things I wanted to hold on to. And my husband raised that an ante-level by having the garage. I've got my, yes, see? We hold on to stuff, don't we? And it's fear that keeps us holding on to this stuff. Like, what if? I have, and I don't know why I do this, I have a drawer in my bathroom filled with makeup that I didn't like. Why didn't I just get rid of it? It's not the right color, it's not the right texture, it's not the right composition, but it's brand new. I can't throw it away. What do I think I'm going to do with it? Would you like to borrow my makeup? I've got this great lipstick. It'd be perfect for your complexion. What am I thinking? I don't know. But we do it, don't we? We all do it. And the material is really easy to look at and laugh about. But we come into some gradients of that hoarding, don't we? That spiritual hoarding. What about a job that you hate? That you drag yourself to every single day. And the only reason you're there is because it's paying the stupid bills. Well, is it that important? And that's not a rhetorical question. It truly, is it that important? I know several people in my life that I'm very fortunate to know that took a step away from their go-nowhere job, their unfulfilled job, that sometimes was paying six-figure income, $100,000s of dollars, and said, I don't feel good about me in this corporate rat race. I don't feel that I am contributing to the world I live in by taking a piece of paper from the right side of my desk and putting it on the left side of my desk. Or a big thing is I take this piece of paper into a meeting and I read it to people for 3 hours. Where's the meaning in that? And the people that were not doing that spiritual hoarding saw that and opened to it and said, there's more meaning in my life. One woman that I know became a licensed therapist and is now running a program in Union City that keeps youth out of gangs. Wow. Wow. Is there some fulfillment going on in that? But it's our fear of letting go of that. The fear that if we step away from this go nowhere, meaningless job that pays all kinds of bucks, I'm not going to be able to afford to live. Well, you know, most of us grew up in some way of being bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until we got our house and we had this great big space that we could hoard more stuff in. What if we were living a beautiful, inspired life in a job that we wanted, that made us feel like we were human beings, God-given right to love life? What a great concept. And it's true. That's what not spiritually hoarding does. It opens to us. And jobs are tough, because we often think that we can compartmentalize. Here is where my work is, and God's not in my work. But now I'm over here on Sunday, and God is all here, and I'm a happy, loving creature. Let's bring them together. If there's one place that needs more spirit in this world, it's our work. Absolutely our work. I tend to use words like, well, you know, my instinct told me. And in my mind, God told me. Well, I don't know, what does it feel like to you? What does that spiritual message tell you to do? We have those opportunities. Don't spiritually hoard. Give that out to the world. You know, the other area that we do a lot of spiritual hoarding on, relationships. Ow. The R word. Have we held on to a relationship that wasn't in our best interest? Anybody besides me? Yeah. Man. And what do we think is going on? That if I end this relationship, I will never be loved again. Oh, please. Oh, please. Like that would really happen. Of course it's not going to happen. But that's what we worry about, isn't it? I was in my 40s before I got married for the first time. Not the second, third, fourth, fifth time. For the first time. And it was because of that fear also of having what I wanted. And I kept ending all these relationships. But, you know, a relationship doesn't just, you don't wake up in the morning and say, that's it. You suffer through it until the pain gets to be bigger than any possible pleasure. And it starts downhill slow, doesn't it? It's like, oh yeah, you know, it's just, that's the way they are. It's no big deal. It's just the way they are. Until it's like, I really would rather spend time with my friends than to be with my beloved at home, because, you know, they're kind of not my beloved anymore. Hoarding. That's part of hoarding too, isn't it? We're holding on to relationships that are not in our own best interest. And why do we do it? The fear. We do not believe at that moment in time that there truly is a limitless world for us, that it is open with possibilities. There's a story too in Africa when they want to catch monkeys. They have what's called a monkey box. And this box has a very, very small, tiny hole, just large enough for a monkey to put his hand through. Inside the box is a banana. The monkey smells and knows the banana's there, puts his hand in, grabs hold of the banana. Whoa, you know, that banana is not going to get through that tiny little hole. Nothing stops the monkey from letting go and withdrawing his hand. But they don't. They hold on to the monkey until the hunters come by and capture them. Nothing stops them. I mean, how many times do we do that? We put our hand inside this button. I'm not letting go of this relationship. Because if I don't have this relationship, I'm never going to have another relationship in my life. This is the job that's paying my bills. I don't want to not have my bills paid. Well, what about letting go and opening? And say, my highest need is at work here. I am not spiritually hoarding anything. I'm putting myself out in the world full force. I am me. I am sharing my gifts. And yet, how many of us can really say we live our lives full outright every single day? We don't. We don't. We can. We could. And many of us live it very, very often every single day. That's my daily prayer, is let me open more today than I did yesterday. And sometimes I'm successful, and other times I spiritually hoard who I am because I'm afraid. And I'm afraid that I'm not good enough. I'm afraid I'm going to be judged. I'm afraid someone's going to call me at 7 o'clock in the morning and ask me to do a sermon in church. I can't do that. Gee, look at me now, huh? We can do anything that we open our minds to once we let go. I know my mother was one that held on to things very, very tightly, and she was born in 1923, so she was that Depression era belief structure. And in that era, there was a lot of lack, and there was a lot of anguish. We recently sent her on a trip for her 75th birthday, an Alaska cruise. Well, she had a perfectly good set of luggage. It was black, it was sturdy, it got the job done. She wanted a set of red luggage. All her life she had wanted this set of red luggage. But she couldn't buy it for herself, not as long as she had the perfectly suitable one. So being a good daughter in corporate America would think, oh, Mom, let me give it to you. But I thought about that, and I said, that's not in her highest gift either. The highest gift for her is to open herself up and know that she's worth it. That the money she spends on something that she wants and has wanted for years is being open to all the universal possibilities we have. And that's what we talked about, we prayed about. She's the one that brought me on the spiritual path when I was probably 10 years old. So where I am right now is where I've wanted to be pretty much all my life. So this is an opening for me. And I think back on that story, my mom and the red suitcases. All she had to do was go to the store and buy them. They have them all over the place, and she did. And that was the lesson that has brought me here to where I am today. Very, very exciting. There's also a belief, too, that when we want something and we have something else, we don't have space for that new stuff. There's a story of a teenage girl who wanted a pink Angora sweater. We're not talking taste and fashion here, okay? Pink Angora sweater, and she wanted it, and she shopped, and she looked, and nothing quite came up. A year went by. Everybody in the class had a pink Angora sweater but her. So she finally found one that was so close. She wanted a V-neck. The V-neck, this was a scoop neck. She said, I'm buying the scoop neck. So here's this beautiful, beautiful sweater in her closet, almost perfect. Guess what she sees the next day? Absolutely, the perfect one. When we settle for less than what we want, we close the door to what we really want. We don't look anymore. Or if it does come to us, like that pink Angora sweater, we're not going to take it because we have perfectly good sweater hanging in our closet. The hoarding, that spiritual hoarding, stops the good from coming to us. And all we have to do is open to the possibility. Because anytime we're hoarding anything, it's a scarcity mentality, isn't it? If I give this up, I'm not going to have any more. I can't do that. So we hold on. And I think this community especially knows how to just open high our arms and receive in. Let us pray. Divine Spirit, love, life, power, beauty, all the words for the divine, the one mind, the one source, the one. This one operates in and through me, in and through every single person in this room. It is coursing through our bloodstream right now as we speak, opening us to the limitless possibilities of the world we live in. Our spirit can absolutely create every single possibility we have. We know this in our innermost soul. This innermost part of us is now bubbling forth to the surface, coming into our life, coming into our hearts, coming into our minds. We know that we can accomplish anything we set our minds to. It's not a fear of failure, it's a fear of success that we are now removing. Opening our minds, opening our hearts, knowing that we are truly divine in every sense of the word. There is such an infinite sense of gratitude that I feel for this knowledge of the limitless possibilities that exist for each and every one of us. In this sense of gratitude of the divine within, I release my word to law, knowing it is manifest today as it can only be. The law brings to form. There's nothing else it can do. Releasing this together, we all anchor this prayer by saying, and so it is.
Thank you.